in the Miami Heat facing off against Derrick Rose and the Chicago Bulls. And the tip-off is just around the corner. Let's get you out to the Madhouse on Madison. Here's Kevin Harlan in Chicago.
Yeah, how y'all feel? Cause I feel so awesome. How you feel? Awesome. I guess that's awesome. You fine and your awesome. Wanna roll awesome. Let's go. Yeah, hands in the skyline. AWE. Some call me awesome. Some call me busy. Call me awesome. Gator on my shirt.
Hello and welcome everyone to the NBA on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan with Clark Kellogg and Steve Kerr. And Doris Burke will be reporting from the sideline. Now we've got a chance for our State Farm starting lineups. First for the Heat, Chalmers and Wade are the 1 and the 2. And the man in the middle from UNLV, Joel Anthony. They utilize his abilities to maintain that presence under the rim. And it's LeBron James, and it's Bosh in at the power forward position. And for the Bulls, Rose is flanked by Bogans in the backcourt. And they've got Joakim Noah, the big man, at the center. A terrific presence on the low block, one of the best. Then it's Dang, and it's Boozer in at the 4 spot.
Well, the Bulls had the best record in the entire NBA a season ago, and one of the reasons was that they were playing in the weaker Eastern Conference, and they really dominated their opponents in the East.
And it's going to be the Bulls off the tip. Rose with the ball. Bosh is going to be hit with the blocking call. That is his first foul of the game. Steve, going back to the Bulls, it was never really close near the end as far as them taking the top spot in the East.
And it may have made them, Kevin, a bit rusty heading into the postseason as they didn't look their sharpest at times against the Pacers, but they were able to right the ship anyway.
You saw that series very closely. That was an interesting first-round series.
Very much so, and I thought the Pacers really fought and competed hard, and it was a good matchup for the Indiana Pacers. A young team, but had some matchup advantages there and made it tough for Chicago.
Boozer against LeBron. That's good, and so Chalmers with the assist.
He's got so many ways to hurt you. I mean, he is really an offensive force out there.
Chalmers against Rose. Defended by Chalmers. And here is Noah. Clock at 6. Outside Dang. Used the shot fake to create the angle, but couldn't get it to fall. And I think Doris Burke has something for us right now. Doris?
I had a chance to catch up with Tom Thibodeau. He said he knows he's facing an offense that can pick you apart if you sit back and let them do what they want. He told me, quote, on-the-ball pressure is key. If we can get up in their face after they cross the timeline, we'll be able to disrupt their rhythm. Let's see if they're successful, Kevin.
Great stuff, Doris. Thanks. It sounds like, Clark, the most important number for them today is opposing shooting percentage.
Well, one of the best ways, Kevin, to contain a dangerous shooter is to keep the ball out of his hands. Deny him the ball, and deny has to be what your focus is.
Steve?
Well, the key is if you're going to deny, then you've got to anticipate the rotations. And so as long as they're schooled in the game plan tonight and they understand what they're trying to accomplish, they can be aggressive and deny and then go ahead and make the rotations from there.
Noah. Yes, and it's Rose with the assist that time. And it's a tie ball game. And here are the Heat.
You know, for so long, the best point guard talk had been between Paul, Nash, and Darren Williams. But Rose might have thrust himself in the front of the conversation last year.
Outside Bosh. LeBron against Dang. And again, LeBron missing. Going back to Rose, Steve, he certainly made a strong case with his play.
He was phenomenal in terms of his point guard play, his evolution offensively, and the numbers don't tell the entire story for him. I mean, he's such a pure scorer, but gutsy as well, and a leader for his team, and modest and humble, and somebody whose teammates absolutely love.
Wade kicks to Chalmers. And Rose picks him up defensively. Chalmers dishes to LeBron. He's covered by Deng. From 11 feet away, LeBron, good.
You know, when there's little or no D on this guy and he's headed to the rim, just chalk it up and go on. I think anything less than the title would have to be viewed as a bit of a letdown for the Heat in last year's playoffs. Even when they entered the postseason as the #2 seed in the East, their eyes were always set on winning it all.
Out of bounds. And they'll keep possession.
Nice job there of disrupting that play.
Yeah, nearly came up with the steal.
So for the Bulls, Taj Gibson's checked in for Boozer. And Ronnie Brewer's subbed in for Keith Bogans. Udonis Haslem, he's checked in for Miami. House comes in for Mario Chalmers. Here's Rose, looking for his first bucket of the game. Here's Gibson. Yes, and it's Rose with the assist that time. Clark touching back on the Heat. Looking at the opponents they had to face, no easy matchups for them.
Yeah, Boston, Chicago, then Dallas. They saw a lot of tough matchups in their road to the finals, and it ultimately might have taken its toll on them because Dallas kind of wore them out in that final series.
Chicago leading. Passes to Brewer. He's picked up by LeBron. Noah the screen. And Brewer kicks to Deng. Layup off the pick. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. It's on Chris Bosh.
Now, the Bulls had to battle some injuries last year, but it didn't slow them down one bit in their rampage through the East. Carlos Boozer missed time early. Joakim Noah missed a large chunk of the season as well, but it didn't slow them down.
He misses the free throw. Stevie talked about the injuries. Boozer, Clark, you come to expect it a bit with the Bulls, but they didn't miss a beat.
They had the depth to make up for it. I mean, Boozer's injury clearly was a problem, but then Noah was out for a while as well, and they really missed his length and activity, particularly on defense and on the boards. Could you imagine their record if they had stayed healthy all year? It would have probably been close to that 70 mark.
Absolutely, you're right.
You got to wonder, has Miami set off a bit of an arms race in regards to talent with what they were able to pull off last year? Are other teams going to look to stack stars just to try to keep up?
LeBron kicks to Anthony. He passes to Haslem. The baseline jumper goes down.
Defense gave him more than enough space right there.
Here is Brewer. 20 seconds left here in the first quarter. Right side Rose, and he put too much on that one. So at the end of 1 quarter of play, still a close game. It's the Bulls up by 1. And we'll be back in just a moment. Neither team able to build much of a lead up to this point as we start the second quarter. Here's Wade, still looking to get on the scoreboard. Mark, you brought up the stars wanting to play with each other. You know, Steve, it seems like that is the trend now in the NBA.
Well, I think every player wants to play with great players. And it's all circumstantial, really. If you're a free agent and there's a team with cap room and you've got a partner who you want to play with and you can work it all out like Miami did, then that's great. But I think those circumstances are going to be few and far between.
Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with Doris Burke. Hey, Doris.
Well, Kevin, the Chicago Bulls, the best defensive team in the league over the course of last season, and Derrick Rose turned his defense from a weakness to a strength. Tom Thibodeau broke it down, saying he has better body position and does less gambling. He knows how to navigate around screens and get back in front of the ball. He's not staying on the ground anymore. He's challenging, and I think he's developing more of a multiple effort mentality. Guys?
Thanks, Doris. It all starts with defense.
And Thibodeau, really one of the best defensive coaches in this league. You can see the impact he's made everywhere he's been.
Gibson backs in. Over Haslam. Shot's good by Gibson. Gibson's got the first points up on the board here in the second quarter for the Bulls. Guys, this offense very effective.
Going right at him.
And this is where you just start picking apart the defense, and now you take their confidence away. You can really take control of this game.
And Miami calls their first time out of the game.
Well, Chicago really established its home record last year at the United Center. In fact, they finished with the best record at home in the Eastern Conference. That was one of the big reasons why they were the #1 overall seed in the playoffs.
Here's what Chicago's going with right now. Carlos Boozer's checked in for Gibson. Bang comes in for Ronnie Brewer. And it's Watson in for Derrick Rose. Here's LeBron. Dishes to Chalmers. Six to shoot. From the wing. Again, the miss by the Heat. You mentioned the Bulls, Steve, tied the other #1 seed, the Spurs, for the best home record in the entire league. Boy, those were two great teams in the regular year, Clark.
They certainly were. 36 wins in 41 tries. Just what you'd expect from a team that was so dominant at home like the Bulls were.
Korver passes to Deng. Off the screen, and it's Haslam with the rebound.
Well, with that much space off the pick, you've got to...
And LeBron throws it down hard. A replay here, the Sprite Slam Cam showing us how it's done. Here is Watson. Defended by Chalmers. It's stolen by Haslam. All alone, rips down the breakaway slam.
And that steal really triggered the fast break. Nice play.
Hey, you're right, and the break itself may have been even better.
Boy, isn't it good to see Udonis Haslam back and healthy after missing most of last season with a foot injury. He's a guy who's really been the heart and soul of this Miami ball club over the years.
Chicago trailing here. Now Watson. And it's Miller picking him up. On the wing, Dang. Now the dish to Watson. 6 on the shot clock. He feeds it to Korver. Jacks up a 3. Miami grabs the miss. Steve Udonis Haslam, when he re-signed with the Heat prior to last season, he could have gotten a lot more money elsewhere. But, Clark, he wanted to remain in Miami. I'm sure he is thanking his lucky stars that decision was made.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, he and Dwyane Wade extremely close, and Haslam just kind of felt like he had a chance to stay in a place that he considered home and would be able to do great things. Credit him for picking happiness and contentment over dollar signs. Sometimes that's the best call, but you don't often see guys make it.
Here's what Chicago's going with right now. Joakim Noah, he's checked in for a Sheik. Bogans comes in for Kyle Korver. And Derrick Rose is subbed in for C.J. Watson. The Heat also changing it up. Ilgauskas is checked in for Joel Anthony. Bosh comes in for LeBron. And Dwyane Wade is subbed in for Mike Miller. There's 1:26 left in the second quarter. And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to Doris Burke for an update. Hi, Doris.
Hi, Kevin. Well, one of the big turning points for Miami and the Big Three was an early season loss to the Dallas Mavericks. Their record was 9-8 at that point, and as it turned out, the Mavs would be their finals opponent. Wade said of the team meeting that followed that loss, at that meeting, letting us know to be friends and to be real with each other. If we see something wrong with our game, point it out. I think we all looked at each other and held each other accountable with our games. That was a significant moment in the Heat season.
Thank you, Doris. That game served as a wake-up call for the Heat early on.
I remember that game. You could see the Heat were a different team after that loss last year, and I think it helped them get to the finals. Great steal in the paint. Thought he might get a layup out of it, and he wound up turning it over.
Bulls trail by 3. Rose dishes to Dang. He dishes it to Boozer, and Bosh picks him up defensively. And Boozer gets it to go. Boozer's got 6.
His presence in the paint gives their offense such a valuable dimension.
And Chalmers kicks to Wade. He got it up. Good!
Ooh-wee, Kevin. That was a big shot to extend their lead and send them into halftime with momentum.
Heat lead by 4.
It's halftime on a Thursday. You know what that means. Time for your HP halftime report. The Heat taking care of business. They've been airtight with their defensive rebounding. No second-chance looks. D. Wade playing impressively so far. He's picked up 5 points and has been a huge helper on the boards as well. And for the Bulls, they're still gutting it out. Overall, their effort just hasn't been on the level it needs to be, which is why they're struggling. For Derrick Rose, it's been a first-half struggle. Another ragged shooting game for him. He's had more than a few lately. And with that, we'll wrap things up here in the studio. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you can join me next time here on HP at the Half.
Welcome back, everybody. The start of the second half getting underway. Both teams battling hard through the first half. Here's Chalmers.
Well, Miami had such a turbulent season last year as far as the drama that surrounded that team. But they were consistent and steady on the road, and they ended up with the best away record in the Eastern Conference.
LeBron passes to Wade. Over Bogans. And there's Dwyane Wade on the assist by LeBron. That's 7 points for Wade. And back to Miami. You know, Clark, road trips aren't easy when you're the villains of the NBA. And there's no doubt that wanted poster in the NBA has got a picture of that Miami threesome up there, huh?
I agree, no doubt about it. But I think that also helped them come together. You know, teams typically do a good job of bonding when they're on the road. That us against them mentality, nobody for you. And quite honestly, really good teams and players enjoy winning on the road more than they do even winning at home.
Rose kicks to Boozer. Covered by Anthony. Shoots a fader. Boozer can't get it to go. The Heat leading by 8. Puts it up. And there's Dwyane Wade on the assist by Bosh. And that's 11 points for Wade.
Well, I like the way it looks to start the second half here. I mean, 3 straight makes to kick it off. Nice. You know, you go back to the finals, and I think Bosh certainly was a factor on the floor. He didn't have the best shooting percentage, but he got better as that series wore on.
There we go. That was your number. Give him a hand. Come on, Chicago.
Here is Bogans. Now here's Rose. Outside Dang. Boozer dishes to Rose. Shot clock at 6. Leans inside, and he hits the jump shot.
Well, going back to Bosh, guys, in the finals, he was inconsistent with his shooting percentage, but he had stretches where he was really good. And remember, he hit that game-winning shot in Game 3. I thought he was overall pretty solid for the Heat that last season and in the playoffs.
And the Bulls making a change here. Brewer's checked in.
There we go. That was your number. Give him a hand. Come on, Chicago.
Here's Bosh, covered by Brewer. Bosh passes to Wade. And it's going to be a 3-second call.
Spoelstra was in a really odd and tough position last season. Never before had there been a bigger free agent talent swing, and he was tasked with getting 3 huge superstars to mesh as a unit. He's done a nice job.
Outside Rose, Boozer. And it's Boozer again missing.
Yeah, just 1 for 4 here in the third quarter, so very slow start for this club.
Back to Spoelstra because he was the first coach, Steve, to deal with that much talent. He had some very unique situations pop up along that road.
Well, he sure did, Kevin, and he had to coach that team under a microscope all season long. The basketball world was watching, and that Miami team went through some ups and downs, but in the end, I think Eric Spoelstra did a fantastic job, and he looks to be one of the bright young coaches in this league.
Dang against LeBron. Dang kicks to Boozer. Blanketed by the D. He fights to the rim for the layup. Boozer's got 8 points.
He's been producing all night. It's up to the rest of his team to start kicking in a little bit.
Wade working against Brewer. Oh, that's blocked. Bulls trail by 6. Here's Rose. Over Chalmers. And it's Miami with the rebound. Anthony's got 3 rebounds now in this one.
Well, when you think of Miami and the Heat team, you immediately think of the firepower of the big three. But last season, their defense was really good. In fact, they were second in the NBA in both opponent's field goal percentage and overall rebound differential.
Rose against Chalmers. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2. Mario Chalmers picks one up. And Steve, more on that stat you said about the Heat. You know, they could suffocate with their D at times. Clark, you saw it firsthand. I mean, this team was terrific on the defensive end.
And, you know, one leads to another. Very often, good defensive teams are also good rebounding teams because rebounding is finishing the defensive possession.
The free throw drops for Rose.
Well, Rose has become the cornerstone of this Chicago franchise. In fact, last season, he became the first Bulls player to be named as a starter in the All-Star game since Michael Jordan.
Here's what Chicago's going with right now. Taj Gibson's checked in for Boozer. Bogans comes in for Luol Deng. And it's Korver in for Ronnie Brewer. And Rose drops them both. Steve brought up Rose as an All-Star. You've talked about his MVP season. You think there would have been some in-between he and Jordan for such a storied franchise, but it took a while.
Yeah, it did take a while. Sometimes that's the way it goes. If you're not winning, you can have good players, and they just don't quite get that all-star nod. They've had some good players, but clearly Derrick Rose has made that a moot point because he's going to be a perennial all-star as long as he's healthy.
Clark, think how hard it is to be the #1 overall pick, then to be the #1 overall pick by your hometown team.
That's a great point.
Where you grew up, that's got to be tough.
It's really difficult, but a credit to him, but he seems to have a nice nucleus of support around him. His brothers, his mom, extended folks, and that makes a big difference because there's great pressure. Not only being #1, as you mentioned, but I think even more so playing in the city that you grew up in.
Yes.
I think he's setting the tone for the entire team in this quarter. Tremendous stuff. Good action.
And there's the pass to Korver. Feeds to Noah. He's up against Bosh. Pushes up, and it's Gibson finishing it off.
How's that for finishing with flavor?
Absolutely fantastic.
I think he was saving that one for a special occasion.
LeBron with a screen on Rose. House dishes to LeBron. Let's go. And they're going to count the bucket and send him to the line. It could be a 3-point play.
Offensively, just hammering away in the paint.
And that's 10 straight points inside, too.
Shooting 1.
Free throw good, LeBron. We've got 13 seconds left here in the third quarter. Watson with it. Pulls up, high post. Goes up. Slammed home, and he draws the foul. A chance for another point at the free throw line.
Well, his rebounding is certainly something this team has come to rely on.
Yeah, the fans have come to rely on him for those dunks for sure.
Well, and nobody was disappointed on that play.
That's good from Gibson. And that's it for the third quarter. Both teams scoring well as we head to the fourth.
Nice numbers from D. Wade. 15 points, and he's been able to hit the three ball, picking up one from deep so far.
Well, the three-point shot has become so important in today's NBA game, and teams are shooting more and more of them. When you can knock them down, it really puts pressure on that defense.
From the United Center in Chicago, back in a moment. As the fourth quarter gets going, let's swing it over to Doris Burke, who has our Sprite Spark report. Doris?
Well, Kevin, for that great stretch the Heat just put together, they get the Sprite Spark Award. Their advantage was built through their defense, namely that great second quarter when nothing got by them. They parlayed that great run into the lead they now have. Can they keep it? We'll see.
Thank you, Doris. They made a statement with that big run, Clark.
They sure did. I mean, actually, this team has what I like to call spurtability.
Clark, that's becoming one of our trademarks right there.
Without question.
We're all over it.
One of the great basketball words out there.
And Clark, I think the defense was sort of shell-shocked by that spurtability. They were reeling.
And here's Watson. Shoots it up. He's good with the little jumper in close. Watson's got the first points up on the board here in the fourth for the Bulls. He kicks it to House. He's covered by Watson. Pocket 6. Up with it. No good from Wade. Bulls trail by 4. Now Watson. Wade picks him up. Here is Watson. Wade is covering. Shot from the top of the key. Again, Chicago. Here's Wade. Timeout called, the Heat. And now Doris Burke has an update from the sidelines.
Thanks, guys. I got a chance to hear what Eric Spoelstra was saying to his team. He said to them, show me you want it more than they do. I need your best effort from here till the final buzzer. The W is there. You guys just go get it.
So Chicago ends up going with the new group. Then for the Heat, Chris Bosh is checked in for Joel Anthony. LeBron comes in for Dwyane Wade. And it's Chalmers in for Eddie House. Now, here's Chalmers. And Haslam backs down. No good. Now Chicago takes it the other way. Close game. They're a deficit right now. Here's Dang. Here's Noah. Can't tie it up as that one misses. The Heat with the lead. Here's Chalmers. Backing down is LeBron. He's picked up by Dang. Brewer knocks it away. It'll be all tied up if they can convert right here. Jumps up, and Brewer slams it home. Brought to you by Sprite, the Sprite Slam Cam on the replay.
Well, it's been a long battle, but they have finally gotten the game even again.
Yeah, you wonder, though, I mean, battling back like that sometimes can give you a mental edge, but other times maybe you've used too much energy to get all the way back, so we'll see.
Bosh, the screen. LeBron kicks to Miller. Good, and the assist goes to LeBron. LeBron's now got his fourth assist in this one. Chicago calls timeout.
He's definitely rolling offensively. You might not be able to stop him, but you've got to find a way to contain him.
C.J. Watson, he's checked in for Derrick Rose. Dwyane Wade's checked in for the Heat. House comes in for Mike Miller. Here is Brewer. The feed to Watson. And Boozer backs in. Watson with it. Chalmers against Boozer. hits the fadeaway.
You know, if their plan was to keep going inside a ton, it sure has paid off. I mean, it seems like every bucket they get is in the lane.
Well, no reason to take an outside shot if you're scoring at will from inside the paint.
And the Heat call time here.
You got to keep everybody on the same page. They need to get their heads together. That's the goal.
So for the Bulls, Bogans comes in for Ronnie Brewer, and Derrick Rose is subbed in for C.J. Watson. And the Heat making a change here as well. Haslam's checked in. Here's LeBron. And Chalmers kicks to LeBron. He's covered by Den. And Wade slams it in.
That's one nice jam right there. I mean, make no mistakes. Just throw it down with both hands.
Good point. Took care of business simply and solidly. 1:53 left here in the fourth quarter. Outside Rose, and Boozer backs in. He's guarded by Haslam. Three-pointer. Here's Noah. Wade gets a hand on it. The Heat leading by 3. Fades away. And he sinks the layup. Wade's got 4 this quarter.
You know, they're just getting hammered inside and really need to find a way to be tougher down there. They got to be physical. They got to man up in there.
I agree. I mean, you look at the points they're giving up, most of them seem to be coming inside the paint.
Here's Rose. And Boozer backs in, fades and shoots. Bounces high off the rim and drops.
That's a very good high percentage look right there.
And the Heat call time here. They're leading by 3. 1:16 left in the fourth quarter of this one. .116 left in the fourth. Wade outside. And that one goes in as he is fouled. It'll be 3 points if he converts at the line.
I can imagine they're going to hear an earful about this next stop. I mean, that's 3 straight field goals given up right in the middle of the lane. Inexcusable.
Well, defense starts at the rim. You want teams shooting the ball from the outside, and that's not happening. They're just giving up everything inside.
And he completes the 3-point play.
They're trying to slam the door here, Kev. That's a big, big play.
Not much time now.
Yep, they'll need some breaks, Steve, to be able to stay alive.
Here's Boozer, sinks it. And now they trail by just 4.
Boy, he set him up beautifully with that assist, room service style.
59 seconds left in the fourth quarter. And here's Wade. Six on the shot clock. Backs down. Pulls up on the elbow. The rebound by Noah.
Really good work defensively. This coach has to be happy with his team.
Yeah, forcing that miss right there, a great effort.
Derrick Rose at the line for the Bulls. 2 shots.
Sinks the first one, and that trims the lead to 3. And Rose drops them both.
Huge free throws right there to trim the lead. That was just what was needed.
Here's Wade. And an intentional foul there stops the clock.
A good foul. You've got to stop the clock in this situation.
Exactly, Steve. I mean, the clock is their biggest ally right now. They need as much time as they can.
It's the first that makes it a 3-point lead. He's off that time. Second free throw missing. Chicago calls timeout. They trail by 3. There's 21 seconds left to play in the final quarter. What's your take, guys?
Well, they've got two options here. They can go for the 3 and the tie, or the quick 2 and the foul.
I like the idea of going for the quick 2. Take it to the rim, and that wouldn't be a bad way to approach this situation.
And here are the Bulls now. They trail by 3. The kick out to Dang. Misses the tray to tie it up. Off target from downtown. He's guarded by Haslam. Dang kicks to Boozer. And so the big win by Miami in a tight game. And Clark, you know, it was quite a nail-biter.
Yeah, it was tight. Their guys were able to come up with big plays down the stretch, and that's the difference.
And that'll do it for Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and Doris Burke. This is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching this presentation of the NBA on 2K Sports. And now we present the Jordan Player of the Game, Dwyane Wade.